Hello and welcome to a fascinating, not exciting today, episode of Codenamed New to v.2. Hi, I'm your presenter, Shabu Argue. Now, to all my regulars, you kind of noticed that I haven't been posting in the last 2 weeks. And if you follow me on Facebook, I've been giving away why. And I'm in the middle of between two properties that we have. So I'm actually moving back to my actual home in the state of Florida. And I want to talk about a topic, since I had to undergo this twice in a year, moving in your collection. Now, if you've seen the retro room, which is I call this, is where I did all my filming in the early episodes. You would see that this was all decked out, and it was a big hit with all of our guests that used to visit us down here. It was like, hey, let's go see Disney World, Kennedy Space Center, and Shabu Ryu's place to take a walk down memory lanes. And I was kind of proud of that a lot of friends and family, they would show off, this is what daddy used to play with. That's what the retro room was about, for parents to share with their children the toys that they had and they love. So that's why I decided to do this as a hobby. And I don't mind me sweating. I was just outside mowing the yard. Now I cleaned up and I'm inside getting back to work on setting up retro room version 2. And this room I had painted black because initially it was supposed to be a tribute to Kennedy Space Center. Because I live in Florida, each room had a theme, like a beach type of theme. One would be intercoastal, one was the Everglades, and this one was supposed to be space. But it turned out to be my retro room because my wife's like, hey, why don't we display these, all this stuff? And I was like, ooh, I married a keeper. So that's how this room got started. Now, I had put up shelves. If you guys seen my early videos, I put up shelves, and right now this is the current state of things. I mean, we have boxes. This is just like, because it's only like a 2-hour drive, I have the luxury of bringing a little bit at a time. And when you have a collection, any collection, and at one point you're going to have to come across this. And so what I did, and now I have this luxury of, making back and forth trips. So for example, last week I brought in most of the jets, like the Sky Striker, the Raven, and, some of the stuff you see, like the Moray came, and the Transformers and some Decepticons. And then up here is the Star Wars inbox stuff. Now, it's worthless now. And then up there, I decided to do the wall. You see the Dragonfly inbox, and of course Transformers. And if any of you seen the surprise on the shelf, which will be featured in an upcoming episode, it's my Princess Leia that looks kind of raunchy. So this is not a final setup, but just to get things, because we're going to have the house carpet cleaned, but what have you. So I basically, plastic bags are your friend. And grouping things, the amount of time you spend organizing things prior to moving is vital, because especially with GIJOE and vintage Kenner Star Wars, you have tiny pieces, and we all know for how many accessories all of us lost as children. So again, putting things in plastic bags and labeling them is key for like all the Star Wars, believe it or not, and also to reuse those plastic bags so you don't waste money. But for all my Kenner Star Wars, that's basically what I did. Bespin or Empire Luke is the only one with the accessories, but all the other ones, I lost all of them a long time ago. And you even see Vader with the ghetto cape. But it's a process. So But like I said, the most important thing, whether you're moving in-state or across state lines, is organization. I can't stress that enough, is that getting plastic bags and boxes and labeling things prior to moving them is very important in keeping the collection intact. And also, if you guys noticed, just to be safe, you know, the ultimate guide to G.I. Joe is vital. Like, you know, you could, you know, I have accessories. Let me just show you here. I got to be careful where I step. So, for example, this is backpacks. And then I will go through each year and, you know, match the backpacks up with the figure on most of them. Some of them, at the other property, I didn't fully equip a lot of my Joes. I just, because their space was so limited for me. So I had to make do with the limited amount of space that I had. But you could see, like, laying everything out. You see the watchtowers, Checkpoint Alpha, you know, the Whale, Sky Striker. Like, I mean, this is just part of it, but I'm just laying things out to have a physical, visual inventory of what I have prior to piecing things, completing figures with the accessory. There's a, I mean, here's a, I have a stand bag, and again, Ian's display stands. They're great for Kenner, Star Wars, and Hasbro G.I. Joes. If you guys watch my video, you know how much I've stressed that these are the best figure stands money can buy. I mean, they have a small circumference, so they don't take up much space. So I highly recommend them. So, again, we have the backpacks. And then we have other bags. You see the guns are over there and artillery. And then I have another bag with missiles. And then there's some loose stuff. Then I even broke them down. These are modern guns, then the vintage guns. So depending on, that's another thing. The more anal you are in your organization, the better you are in setting this up. And so basically that's it. Also, like, you know, with stuff like the Whale, things are like it's good to take off the fins prior to any type of movement. So here are the killer whale's veins. These are so delicate, you know. The same, I just tossed it down. And also stuff like Serpentor's cape. Take that off, fold it nicely, and put it in the bag prior to moving, because that thing easily, like, you breathe on it and it rips, and you guys know that. So again, like right now, these are not the permanent homes, but I just stuck them up, like Cobra's on this side, Joe's will be on this side, and then, which is funny because I have Joe's on this side and Decepticons, and then on this side Cobra's and Autobots. So it's kind of a vice role reversal there. But anyway, I thought that this would be a good mini video to put up to discuss what are your recommendations and suggestions for moving, because, you know, we have all these videos on, you know, reviews of figures or comic recaps, but, you know, I did one about comics in G.I. Joe since I cover IDW, and I think this is a pretty good subject matter that we should talk about, like, you know, whether it be, and at some point, we all have to go through. It's not like a big deal, but the most important thing to take away from this video is organization, organization, organization. And I can't emphasize it enough. The what you put in prior to loading up your car or truck and bringing things to the, you know, address number 2, the better you are in setting up, especially when you have a big or modestly big collection like I do, because you know, this is it. My wife gave me one room to play with, so I have to optimize that. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope it got you thinking about how to transport your Joes. This is Shabu RU signing off.